Hello, Mr. Dominguez. Todos aquí. City Poti regular meeting for the city of the City Council, 491 Avenue H, City Hall, Tuesday, January 17, 2023. It's actually 6:32 p.m. Number one, call to order. And it's 6:32. Determination. I say I forgot. Determination of a quorum. A. Would do B. Pledge allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Dominguez, would you start it off?
Yes, ma'am. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then we have the invocation, and we have Mr. Adam Garza.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings that you've given us. We ask you, Lord, for wisdom, understanding, and great love as the council conducts their meeting, Lord, for the betterment of the city and all its citizens. And all this we ask in the precious name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. And thank you once again, council members and Madam Mayor, for inviting me. So have a
Thank
blessed
you for
evening.
coming.
Okay, thank you.
I missed you last time.
Yes.
I didn't do it on purpose. Item two, mayor's report, and I don't really have anything, my mayor's report. Oh, nada, oh, okay. Number three, citizens' comments, 3 minutes limit. Speakers need to complete the supplier from priority to this meeting. Any person who makes personal, disrespectful, or slanderous remark, or who becomes prejudiced while addressing the council or attending a council meeting should be removed from the building, if so, directed by the mayor or mayor pro tem. If the mayor is absent or at the request of the majority of the council, please be advised that the comments will have no action, no discussion in this meeting. And that's the Attorney General Opinion JC-0169. A speaker signed up may not cede time to another speaker to continue speaking. Ordinance number 1201201-4-01. And I have here Brenda Martin Torino, but you're on the agenda. And then I have Mr. Salamanza.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Sal Almanza. My residence is at 905 School Drive, intersection with Avenue C. And I just want to let y'all know of a little problem we're having in there, and we've been having the problem for the past few years. We have sewer backup on the city side of the sewer connection. The sad part is that the city sewer line runs right on the angle of the drainage ditch. So it's outside my property line, but it's on the city's right of way on the drainage ditch. Now, this is funny because this last time we had the problem, and it was 9 months from the last time that we had a problem. In February, we called in the city for repairs. The city goes out there, they fix it up, they take off. And then 9 months later, usually it's 6 months that we have the problem show up again, but this time it was 9 months. And it happened on Wednesday afternoon, right before Thanksgiving Day. The city crew goes out there and they start cleaning up trying to remove the clog. But it must had some problems because the machine that they were using, I would just say broke down. What I mean, it stopped operating twice, maybe 3 times. So, and it was also took a little bit of difficulty for the crew to get the sewer line cleaned. So I'm just bringing this to your attention right now because I will let you be informed of it because the family was informed at the last occurrence in February that the city would be looking at it and seeing what the trouble is. So now we have a problem and it got a little bit more difficult to fix, took a little bit longer to fix, but it did get fixed. But sadly, I'm afraid it's going to might have another one. Well, it's a recurring nightmare for us because it happens in the mornings, it happens at nights, it happens early in the morning, and sometimes it happens during the day. That's when we're lucky because somebody is home where we can see the the overflow pipes, the cleanout pipes flowing over out on the creek side. I call it the creek side, and they're flowing there. So today I just want to let y'all know, and that just let you know that we have a problem there. The city has a problem because it's getting a health and safety issue for my family, and for action, I will be trying to get on the agenda for the next meeting. Today, I just want to let you know that this is happening, and I'm hoping that we can fix it. So, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Almanza. David Collette? Okay. That's all the citizens that signed up. Item 4, City Administrator Report. And that'd be Ms. Poppin. Yes, ma'am?
How are you, girl? A recap of June 22 through December the 22nd, 2022. When you're positive and you're passionate and you have a purpose, you can do anything. And you can look around this room today and you can see a group of people who have made those statements true. Just real quick, I want to run through the screen here to kind of give you a recap of some of the things that have happened here in the city of Poteet in the last 6 months. So the first project that we did was a structure that had burned. We worked together with Republic. We worked together with our police department, our public works, and we were able to get this taken care of at a very minimal cost to the city. It was a huge mess. It was a health and safety hazard, but our team worked together and we made it happen. You can drive by there today and it still looks very nice. Our fire department, this is a fire that we were at. We always go out to make sure the guys are there. Work well with all departments, all of the entities that have anything to do with the city of Poteet. We did a hot dogs at the fire department with the auxiliary group, and you can look there and you can see it, all the smiling faces, how happy that everybody is that here we are in the city of Poteet working together because we're passionate and we have a purpose and we're positive. Look at all the smiles. You can just glance through there and you can see it happening. This wasn't long after my first day here, and I've explained to y'all, or we've talked about my first day here when I first talked to employees of how sad it was and how everybody was just like, oh, well, here we go again. But then just a couple of weeks later, 2-3 weeks later, you can look at a picture like this and you can see, look at the smiles. These guys in the Parks Department, Public Works, needed some weed eaters, needed a pole saw, needed a chainsaw. We made it happen because we worked together. Active shooter training, our police department, our fire department, took this class, I believe it was at the Poteet High School here. Again, working together, moving the city forward and making sure that we protect our citizens. Friends of the library, I'll just drop into several of the little meetings and snap a few pictures. They always know when I'm there, they're gonna get your picture taken. So, council, mayor, Strawberry Capital of Texas, how proud we are of this. Moving on to July, Poteet Canyon Park needed renovations very badly. We wanted to get that ready for backpacks for burgers and that kind of a thing. So renovation started. The team again worked extremely hard to make sure that the kitchen was renovated. A lot of the old rotten wood was torn down. It was painted. With the help of the Parks Foundation, we were given $5,500 to help buy appliances and stuff that needed to go into the kitchen. The restrooms were redone, and you can see all these guys. A lot of these guys came with Alfred. Alfred works in our parks department, and he brought some people from his church out, and they came out and they donated their time. And you can just see how happy these guys are that something like this is happening. August was a real busy month for us. We had, in conjunction with several other entities, Brad's Backyard Kitchen, the auxiliary group, many of the organizations got together, and the city was able to join in with them to help make the Backpacks for Burgers a success. You see all the hard workers. Wonder who that is. Birthdays are a big thing for us around here, so we make sure that no one's birthday goes unrecognized. So you will see us having cake and ice cream quite often around here. So that was a birthday again. Ribbon cutting for the Quick and Easy Laundromat. So we're real excited to have him here. He is such a blessing to the city. He helps, he donates. You go in there and normally you have to go in there and ask, hey, we got this going on. And I go in there to get my Diet Coke and my lottery ticket. And he'll tell me, what do you have going on, Miss Popham? What can I do for the city? What do you need me to donate? So he's always such a blessing. Here's a selfie of our chief, and this is another structure that the team got together and tore down, which, again, minimal cost to us because we're utilizing our team. School was about to start, and the sidewalks were a little crowded with some brush and debris, and something that's been real dear to our hearts is to keep Poteet clean, get Poteet cleaned up. We deserve to have a nice, clean city. So the guys, again, I believe this was the two Diegos. We hired them in the very beginning to do the pothole project. So these guys went out there and they got everything taken care of so the kids could have a clear path to walk to school. Summer Under the Stars block party took place in August, and it was a blast. If you weren't here for this one, you better make plans to attend this next year because we had a really good time. Just a few pictures, and you can see how much fun our citizens had. Look at that team. A team to be at an event that the city puts on. They worked hard. They played hard. We had a really good time. September, we did the first responders dinner right here at the EMS station. Again, this was when we do things, it's together. We work together. The Poteet Auxiliary, the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Poteet, everybody gets together to make things happen. We had Rosalinda Alacanes, she cooked. She donated stuff. La Mesa is always good at donating for things like this. So I don't recall at this moment how many people we served, but I know we had a room full of people. We had a lot of good door prizes and that kind of a thing. Mr. Eric Cleveland is from Henry Cuellar's office, and he dropped by for just a quick photo and to sit and visit with us to see what are our priorities, what does Poteet need, what do we want. So we sat with him, we visited with him, and hopefully we'll be able to do some things that are going to be like wow to the city of Poteet. Our police department, I believe Officer Permenter was the ringleader of the car seat project. This is a couple of pictures from that. Car seats to make sure our kids are safe. Our kids are our future, and these guys were out there working hard. If there was an issue with the car seat that was in the vehicle that drove through, they got a brand new car seat. So hats off to these guys for working on that. Our mayor.
Really?
Mr. Dominguez. Mr. Dominguez was honored for being our local hero. He was in an incident and then he took care of a problem, and we recognized him and we appreciate him and we thank him. We attended a seminar just a few weeks ago, and it was on finances. It was the most boring thing that I've ever been to, but I learned so much. Like, I was like, oh Lord, but it was good for us. And you're looking at a finance team right there. We have made some adjustments with inside City Hall, and we will be the finance team. We will be making sure that the reports that you get, everything that we need to make sure that the city moves forward the way it's supposed to, we're going to make it happen. So I'm proud to have these girls on my team. I'm very proud of them. Lisa held a little event over at the library on Pearl Harbor. They had some book reading, and there's Miss Janice. There she is. Yes, so these ladies are very passionate about things like that. Mayor attended Judge Hurley's retirement, so I've got a few pictures from here. Going through here, just a few. The city of Poteet, if there's something happening, if there's something going on, you can be guaranteed that the staff is going to be outside with our little horns and our banners and our flyers and that loud voice, because this was, I think we were rooting for our ladies volleyball team. They were going to state, so it was a good time. Our little cheerleaders here, Danae and Andrea. Birthdays again. Just fellowship. And I think the main thing that I wanted you all to see on these slides were the smiles. You can see how passionate, how positive, and you know we've got a purpose. And we're doing nothing but moving this city forward. Lucky to be able to hire 3 new officers this year. Martin, Rex, and Johnny. Got it. Here's some pictures of all of that. New business, and we're always excited about new businesses. We welcome them all. I think I've heard it said before that we are definitely open for business, so come on to Poteet, Texas. Foolproof Liquor opened, and again, they have been huge sponsors of everything that we have done since they opened. And you can see that we had a real good time in there that day. All of us were all smiles. They had a nice lunch. The lunch was... they had got with Brad, and Brad made little mini tacos, and there he is. And it was a good time, very good time. Trunk or treat, again, participate in anything and everything that we possibly can. So this was our trunk or treat. It was held out at the Hosanna Church. We had a costume contest, and a lot of people were there, and it was just great. Just, you again see how happy people are that things are happening in the city of Poteet. November was kind of a quiet month. You know, we're already gearing up for the holidays and that kind of a thing, but we were able to have a beautiful employee luncheon. We had some very good lunch provided by our attorney was one that sponsored the luncheon for us. We were going to do a potluck, and they reached out to us, Lineberger and Etzel, and they split our luncheon. So we had a real nice time. You can see the fellowship on everyone's face. So very, very excited. December came, and boy, it went quick. We did our tree decorating out in the library square. Got a few pictures here of people out decorating their trees. We had quite a few. I was real excited about that. This was our staff Christmas picture. So we had a good time getting everybody to try to smile. There's 1 or 2 that we can't ever pull a smile out of, but the majority of us were smiling away. And then we went outside and we took one by the tree. So Santa came to town, and boy, did everybody love it. So this was at our Christmas tree lighting the day before the parade. And here's just a few pictures of things that went on. We had music, we had s'mores, we had hot chocolate. Look at that. That's Christine, everybody. And look at that smile on her face. So you know you got to be doing something right when you see all of these smiles. So right here, that was some gossip. I'm sure of it right there. When Curtis is there, watch out. Good times, my friends. This is good times. This is a work family like no other. The Grinch had to show up, and he kind of ruins everything, but very nice picture. The city staff, Danae and her family, worked very hard to put this on. We worked some extra. I know when we started putting lights up, Noe and his wife, Nathan and Justin and some of the guys were like, this lady's crazy. I just know she is, because we're going way out. But I love Christmas, and I think there's a huge meaning to it, so it means the world to me. Chief and his wife, Mayor. So we just had a beautiful time. Santa made his rounds with everyone there. Blue Santa was a huge success. I know that we helped more people this year than we have in the past, correct, Chief? Yes, so what a blessing. What a blessing to be able to do that. And thank you to the Blue Santa program, the police department, the association for making that happen. Santa came by here to see us at City Hall. Mayor was delivered a beautiful poinsettia by Success Engineering. The girls, this is when we were getting ready to decorate outside. So just, you see the smiles, you see the happy. Our Christmas party, wow. I know everybody doubted me. I could hear it happening, but we got together, we begged, borrowed, and all of the above, but we made it beautiful. And it was a very fun time, very well attended. And again, you can see how happy everybody was. So I can't wait to plan for this year. Again, our little cheerleaders. Council. Look at that, nice group. Just a very happy group, moving things forward. He's the ex-mayor of Floresville, Danny Tejada. The mayor and I. Santa
Your
Claus,
husband.
look at that. Lisa and the girls. The main purpose of this slideshow was to show how much can happen in a short time if everybody's on the same page. If we all are positive, we're passionate, and we know that there's a purpose. This is the parade, the Blue Santa Parade. Look at the smiles. I mean, everybody's happy. There's, if you were there, you were happy. We even traveled to Floresville and attended their parade, and all I've heard was Floresville got blown out of the water by the city of Poteet. Look at that. Look at our truck. Wasn't that amazing?
We did steal some lights from somebody's house, I'm not gonna lie. We had 5-finger discounts, I'm not gonna lie.
That was our Christmas card. And Mayor and I just went to Laredo on Friday for the swearing in of Henry Cuellar on his new term. Speed bumps, speed bumps, speed bumps. We have put a couple out around the city, so heads up, they're there. There is yellow paint on this one now, but this is out on Rutledge Road. This one is on E Street. Preventative, we brought generators in when we had the big freeze because we wanted to make sure that our citizens were safe. And luckily, our Public Works Department did an amazing job and everything stayed right on course, but we were prepared. We wanted to make sure that our people were safe. So that's basically a recap from June to December. So a lot of things can happen, and we're very excited about that. Real quick on that same, want to just run through a couple of things. City administration in that time period, all past due minutes have been finalized, placed on the city website, signed, sealed, and filed properly. We were, from past administration, we were behind. It was something that we had to get done. Jacob's standing in the back, and I know he's smiling. I'm not looking at him, but it was like, you gotta have it, you gotta have it. The team worked extremely hard. Shout out to Abby for coming in full force and taking control of those minutes. Our budget was complete and approved before the deadline. Our audit was ordered. A financial advisor had been brought in. We're in the final stages of working with PSI on the water meter project, and the finance department, all bank reconciliations for 2.5 years ago are caught up, done, and we're ready to roll. So very excited about those things. Public Works, all NOVs, which is notice of violations from prior administration. When I got here, there was a handful. They have all been taken care of except one, and Mr. Jess is going to help me take care of that tonight on this agenda, and then we will be completely in compliance with TCEQ. We replaced a pump. It's called a scum pump. It's for the clarifier out at the water plant. Well number 9 is back up and running. It's online after fixing all the electrical issues that it had. Well number 10, we've replaced a motor and a pump. We've purchased many small engine purchases for the parks, including weed eaters, chainsaws, and pow saws. The pothole project was complete, and we will start that again in spring. We put speed bumps across the city. Howard Road project is about 95% complete. We have done extensive work to Ampkin Alley. The jetter has been finalized, paid for, and delivered. We hired 3 new employees, Nathan Hernandez, Justin Cavender, and Brent Carson in the Public Works Department. We were finally able to get our guys their work boots. They promised work boots every single year, and it's been multiple years since the city was able to get them work boots, and they all got boots. So we're real excited about that. The police department, I spoke about our new hires. We were able to increase the pay on some of our officers to get us a little closer to our surrounding cities. We want to keep our guys. We need them to protect us. We need them to make sure that we're safe. We have worked on some scheduling, and we have encountered some enhanced training for the police department. The next item on the agenda is our Cowboy Breakfast, and the Cowboy Breakfast is going to be February the 3rd at 6 a.m. That's a Friday morning. It's going to be at Canyon Park. It's free. We're going to have biscuits and gravy. Brad's going to do biscuits and gravy. Irma's doing picadillo. We've got Republic is joining in. So many people were joining in to make this happen. So please mark your calendars, and you guys come out and have breakfast with the city of Poteet. The next item on the agenda is the election deadlines. January the 18th is the first day to file for a place on the ballot. February the 17th is the last day to file for a place on the ballot. February the 23rd, post notice of ballot drawing. The 24th is the last day to withdraw your application. February the 27th will be a ballot drawing. April the 6th is your last day to register to vote. April the 24th is the first day of early voting in person. May 2nd is the last day, with election being on May the 6th. And that's all I've got for the moment, other than my employees of the month. So we're doing 2. So
What?
my first employee.
Oh, hold on, Ms. Poppin, they were there. The performance services.
Oh, did I miss that? I spoke of that earlier. Performance service, we're in the final stages on that to finalize the water meter project. So once our audit is done and we get with our financial advisor and we move that to the next step, then we will get with PSI again and get that taken care of. I've got my agenda stuck under here somewhere, so I'm over here guessing. But employee of the month, this young man came in and started working out in the parks, out in the streets. We kind of just moved him wherever. He came in on a program, and we wanted him to stay. So the job was offered to him. He has done a fabulous job. He works real hard. He looks at me kind of crazy sometimes because he's the one who had to put up a lot of these Christmas lights and deer and all of this. But Nathan, if you will join me up front, you are one of our employees of the month. So we thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and the smile that you always give me. So here's a little certificate for you. And then here's some goodies. And we did invite your family to come and and join us. So if you'll step to the front real quick, we'll get some pictures. You guys join us right up here.
No, I don't have to make a speech, do I?
Do you
I
want
thought
to?
it was Miss Poppin, what's his last name? Fernandez, right? Hernandez. That was Fernandez.
Go ahead.
Nathan?
Thank you very much.
Nathan, congratulations. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you. I know that majority of you will agree with me when I say this because behind every great successful man is a woman right behind them, pounding things, making sure everything's straight. But this lady has 11 men. 11, can you imagine? That she keeps in line on a daily basis. Miss Faye, will you join me up front, please? She handles the police department and she keeps all 11 of these guys in line, on schedule, on time. See, she thought she was coming here to speak today, so she's nervous. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome. Sure. My pleasure.
Step up here and take a picture with us, Chief.
Congratulations. Speech. Speech. Speech.
Sorry, we had to treat you like that.
We wanted it to be a surprise.
I know.
Hey, Faye.
Yeah, that's true, but anyway, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's it for me for now.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Popham, I just want to let you know that behind every great team, there's a great quarterback. And I'm very confident that the reason we've had these successes is because we have you as our quarterback. So I want you to know that we appreciate that. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you.
And we thank you and thank God for bringing you to us and giving us the ability to move forward.
Thank
So
you.
again, from the bottom of our heart, thank you so much.
Thank you
I
very
would
much.
like to say something too.
Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Henry Dominguez. Because when you got elected, you know,
This is about her.
yeah, but I'm saying you, I want to thank you because, you know, you chose to be a leader and, you know for right, for wrong. And because of you, we all been able to work together. Then we brought Miss Poppin here and she also has been amazing. You know, we went to Floresville. Thank her husband too for having us over there. And it is a team. We've been following her, and I do thank her husband because I know you have to put a lot for put him aside for a little bit because you have to come to Poteet and take care of us. So I want to thank you, Andy, also for giving us your wife because I'm gonna say you gave it to us. And you're not going to Laredo. I didn't even mention you in Laredo. Let me tell you. So he wants to get a job over there. I guess to take Miss Poppin. I said no, it's not gonna happen. But I do thank you because
Thank
you
you,
did bring
Mayor.
all of us together. So thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and you, Mr. Dominguez, too.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I know I'm thinking about. Okay. Then we have still six consent. The consent agenda, right? Consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be self-explanatory and will be intact with one motion. There will be no separate decision of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. For a citizen to request removal of an item from the consent agenda, a speaker card must be filled out and submitted to the city secretary office prior to call to the order. I have item A, approved minutes of November 15 regular meeting, and item B, approved minutes of November 23rd, 2022 special meeting. Okay, I wasn't here in November, so did y'all look at your agendas item for November 15 and 2022 and November 22nd, 2022? Do I have a,
Yes, Mayor, I make the motion.
I have a motion for Mr. Dominguez? I have a second
To approve.
for Mr. Flores. Okay, oh, let's put it here. Mr. Sanchez, Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Rick Flores,
Yeah.
Councilman Mr. Fernandez, and Mayor Pro Tem Chris,
Clarify, the motion was to pass it as read?
yes, pass it.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Motion pass. I have item 6, new business, discussion possible action of presenting and accepting the FY 2020-2021 annual financial report. Melissa, and then I have Jacob from Armstrong.
I'm basically going to just turn this over to Mr. Jacob. He has become one of my very best friends. We have worked so closely together, so he is, from Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates, and he is here to present our audit. So thank you, Jacob.
Howdy. Like she said, I'm Jacob Toomey with Armstrong Bond and Associates. We conduct the audit. What is an audit? Mostly we just go through your financials and your financial statements, and we're kind of like a health inspector for financials. We look at them, we give a grade, like an A for passing and an F for failing. Good news, y'all passed. Y'all got the A.
Thank you.
We also conduct a single audit, which is kind of like that, but specifically for the federal funds that y'all receive. Y'all also passed that. There was one comment that we made there, but it's a comment that we've made in the past regarding bank recs, but that's something that we usually do. Now, we have produced these financial statements for y'all, and you will notice that Kim Davis is still listed as the city administrator because at the time in 2021 she was the city administrator. But I would just like to say a special thank you to Melissa, Patricia, and everybody else here at City Hall. They were a huge help in getting this done. So that being said, the financials were pretty boilerplate, more of the same of what we've seen in the past. Y'all were over budget in administration, mainly due to 2021 still being kind of that COVID period, and y'all spent a lot more money on COVID supplies because of that. In addition, you were over in police, but being over budget in the police, there wasn't really any one thing. It was really just costs were more than expected. Overall, though, you did do better than budgeted. You were able to increase the fund balance more than expected, and that puts you at about 2 months of operations in your fund balance. So keep working at it. Hopefully you can get to 3 and someday maybe even more. Going over to the utility fund, you were also able to have a good year with that. You were able to increase fund balance there by about 40,000. That means you were able to cover your cost and supply water and sewer to your citizens. Beyond that, I know this is old information, but hopefully, and from the sounds of it, y'all are getting back on track, and y'all will be on track soon, if not there already. Are there any questions from City Council for me?
No, just thank you for the 8.
Awesome. If you do come up with anything later, Melissa has my contact information, and I'd be happy to speak with any of y'all if you do have any questions.
I got one more. What would you say our biggest weakness is financially wise?
It would have to be the bank recs.
The bank rates.
There's no other way around saying that. We have been able to catch y'all up to 2021, and hopefully that gives y'all a place to work forward. But I would say that is the weakest point.
And that was expected. I'm good. Anyone else got questions? I said I'm good. Anyone else got questions? No? I guess thank you.
I want to thank you for everything, Jacob. I really do. Yes.
Oh, then I make a motion to approve item A as read.
I have a motion from Councilman Sanchez.
I'll second.
I have a second from Councilman Flores. Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores?
Yeah.
Councilman Fernandez?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bautista?
Abstain.
Okay, motion passes. Item B, discussion and approve of the resolution number 2023-01-01R approving the fund balance policy. Melissa, Administrator, and Abby.
Abby's gonna join me because she will be doing some financials here in the near future, so we're just gonna tackle this together. The purpose of this is, we brought in our new financial advisor, and in the audit, you will see that these are things that we've needed to do that should have been done. A fund balance policy, the purpose of this policy will ensure that the city maintains adequate fund balances and reserves in order to provide sufficient cash flow for daily financial needs, secure and maintain investment grade bond ratings, and offset significant economic downturns or revenue shortfalls. So basically, these are in place to keep us on track. Key points of the fund balance reserve policy will require the city to maintain a minimum unassigned fund balance in the general fund equal to 30% of reoccurring expenses. And what's going to happen, there will be a trigger. If something was to happen and we fall below 25%, then we'll get a trigger and we'll start to reduction in spending such as travel and training, implementation of hiring freeze or non-essential positions, increase revenues, or pursue other funding resources. So basically, it's just to keep us on track. Policy sets an order for the funds in which most restricted fund category is spent first before moving to the next category of available funds. So it's something we need in place. There is a resolution attached to your packet, and basically we just need you to move forward on this. This is all part of our financial packet.
Does anyone have any questions?
I got one. It's not
Okay.
really a question. On the section where it says assigned fund balance, the city council has authorized the city manager. I know it's like semantics at this point, but city manager and city administrator are completely different.
Got you.
So if we approve it, I just want to make sure that says city administrator, because there's like a manager.
Sure.
And then an administrator. So that's all I think I
What
see.
section?
Assigned fund balance is on the second page. Or technically the third page. Section
in the
3 on the
exhibits.
policy.
Okay. The second page, right here.
It's right there. Okay, I think that was sent in Word, so we should be able to change it.
Yeah, we can correct that. So if we can make a motion with the correction, I would appreciate that.
All right, I'd like to make a motion if no one else has questions.
Okay, a motion to correct it too?
Yes.
Pass it with the correction.
Pass with the correction. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a motion.
Yep, and just to clarify, the motion is to pass the fund balance policy as read with the amendment of changing city manager to city administrator.
I have a second.
Who seconded? I didn't-
Councilman Flores. Okay, Councilman,
I just have a question. This is like a program you're gonna have that's gonna alert y'all, and then will we be notified as well?
It's
Like if
basically
it's-
a resolution, and if you read in the auditors, these are things that should have already been in place.
Okay.
So we're
Like when we do fall behind, is it something that you'll notify?
as I do, anytime something like, I'm like, oh my goodness, something happens, I will certainly let you know immediately if we get to a point where there's an issue or whatever.
Thank you.
okay, Councilman Sanchez? Councilman Dominguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores?
Yes.
Councilman Fernandez? Mayor Pro Tem Batista?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, item C, discussion and approval of the resolution number 2023-010-02R, approving a debt management policy from Melissa Poppin and Abigail.
Again, this is something that should have been in place. It is in the audit saying that we need it, so we're already, as he said, fixing some of the things that were issues. We're here and we're fixing them. The purpose is to comply with all Texas and federal law governing debt and existing city debt. Primary objectives of the policy are the following: to ensure high-quality debt management decisions, maintain and improve the city's existing debt rating, maintain access to capital, and minimize borrowing cost and risk. So,
If I may. No, it looks good to me, just city manager. Let's
we'll
just change it to
correct,
city
yes, we'll
administrator.
correct.
Other than that, I'm good with it.
Yeah, we'll correct that also.
I'd like to make a motion if no one.
I have a motion, Mr. Sanchez?
You have questions?
A second.
Oh, I'd like to make a
Second
mo-
from Flores.
I'd like to make a motion approving item C as read, just correcting city administrator to, or city manager to city administrator.
Thank you.
I second.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores,
Yes.
Councilman Fernandez, and Mayor Pro Tem Bautista.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Then I have item D, discussion possible action of selecting an engineer firm bids for the creator of the as-built per TCEQ requirements. Melissa Poppin?
As I spoke in my administrator's comments, we talked about being completely up to date with everything. And I have Mr. Jess here in the back, if you'll join me, and then I also have Bobby. And he's just gonna give a little rundown on what this is, but this is part of our violations. This is part of, we weren't doing what we were supposed to with past administration. So this will bring us 100% up to date current on any of our violations when we get this passed. So, guys?
The, the item on the agenda, it's for, supplying some as-built for each water plant that we have here. And since these plants have been in place for years and years, we've never had any as-built. And it's an inspection that we get every 3 years, and every 3 years we get a new inspector. And this is the first time they ask for them. So we don't have them, so we're contracting that out to the, to an engineering firm. All it is, it's, they'll tie down tanks, valves, towers. Tying down means locating. They'll have coordinates for everything, and they'll draw a map, and they'll sketch it all out for us that we don't have. It's a different thing from the water system, the collection system, the distribution system. These are at the plants. And I've contacted 2 other engineering firms, but Mr. Jess here is the only one that responded. So that's why he's on the agenda right now.
Well, your director spelled it out pretty clear. It's a very simple process. We'll send our surveyor out, and he'll pick up everything, and then Success will draw the as-built. I'll review them, seal them, and send them back, and we'll submit them to TCQ.
Yeah, this is something we need, everybody, because we had quite a bit violations. And I'm actually just, start finding out about a bunch of them. This has been going on for a while, but we are, like Ms. Poppins said, this is the last one.
What it was, there was a lot of paperwork that was missing from the previous administration.
The administrator and actually the mayors and everything.
There was paperwork in place, and I don't know where it went. Now that I'm here looking through the paperwork, and I've reviewed all the NOVs, this is what stood out, and this is what we need to complete the inspection report that they require, that they've requested all the information.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
so Bobby, what you're telling us, and just for clarity, these as-built are basically a diagram of where all the structures are at.
Correct.
These structures are permanent structures, they're not temporary or
No, they're permanent.
portables, they're permanent. So pretty much this survey will serve from not only now, but for future reference.
Yes, sir, unless anything is modified, it will survey from the fence line in.
Okay.
Now, if there's any other construction that occurs in the future, we'll require the contractor to draw up as-built as it's being constructed.
And that will be in addition to what we're gonna
And it will be submitted with the addition of whatever Mr. Jeff here. That's all.
Anyone has any more questions? I'd like to have a motion.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion
I have
to accept.
Dominguez making a motion.
I'll second it.
I have Ms. Bautista second the motion. Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores,
Yes.
Councilman Fernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem Bautista.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I guess next, E, discussion possible action on granting a variance to ordinance number 06022020-01, section 4.01D, stating that a manufacturing home should not be older than 10 years from date of the permit. Ms. Bobbitt.
Bobby and Mr. Trevino are going to handle this item.
Okay.
Ms. Trevino has, asked for a variance on, on a mobile home that she wants to bring into her property on Ampian. Let's see, we haven't actually had an address, but it's at the intersection of Boyd Street and Ampian Road. She's got two lots there and she wants to bring in, a mobile home that doesn't meet the mobile home ordinance. I think she's provided some pictures. I think she provided the pictures, the year model and the location.
So Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir?
So Mr. Trevino, currently there's nothing on the property, right? It's just
That's
vacant?
correct, it's vacant as well.
And this mobile home that you're bringing in, give us a little bit of information about it.
It's a 1997 short limited mobile home. It's located right now, 1017 Trevino Road in Pleasanton.
Okay.
We bought 30 acres and it sits on the south corner of the property, and it needs to be moved. We'll have the perfect property to be able to move it to if it's approved by the council.
And have you done any remodeling to it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell us about that, please?
Yes, sir. We have torn out some walls and repaired those, painted them. We have shampooed the carpet, fixed the back door, floor. We are on its final touches. Basically, the tile still needs to be, laid out. But it's just a very little room, and just the closets need to be painted. And that's basically about it.
What about electrical upgrades or plumbing upgrades?
I bought two toilets, and so those have been
Sure they're
already
nice.
repaired and installed and everything. The lighting, we're gonna wait till it comes back down here, so I can get my electrician to, we don't have any electrical power, or anything over there. All we have is like the generator,
Okay.
that we're working with. But
And prior to your renovations, was there any examples of maybe electrical issues? Was there any hot plugs that were scorched or any
no, sir,
issues with the fuse box itself?
no, sir. There's no sign of leakage, the roof, anything like that.
It's structurally sound?
Right. It
And
may
Bobby,
have- I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bobby, have you had a chance to go in and look at the house?
No, it's outside city limits. I've viewed the pictures and
Right.
that's about it.
I asked him, but he just like it was out of the city limits, so he wasn't able to.
Well,
It's on-
I mean,
it's
Ms.
on the
Poppins,
county
there wouldn't be an
road.
issue with it if we're asking for a variance for him to go and inspect it and give us a report on it. Right. I mean, Bobby, how do you feel about that?
I mean, the only question that I would ask is, it's gonna be your home, are you gonna rent it out, are you gonna be is it gonna be a rental property, is it gonna be, are you gonna start a mobile home park, what are those, what's the purpose for this mobile home being brought into our city then?
So that's a good question.
We plan to have a rental.
It's gonna be a rental?
Rented out.
So in the rental process, there is an inspection process as well.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And so you understand that that would have to pass as well.
I'm willing to comply with the ordinances, the mobile home, manufactured home, or obtain the necessary permits that are required for each step of the way.
When she first approached, me with it, I gave her the mobile home ordinance and subdivision ordinance, but she's got a pretty good chunk of land to follow those two. Those are the Bibles to starting like a subdivision, trailer park, or rental properties.
So
I offered that to her.
So the first step was to get it surveyed, and I got Pollock and Sons to survey it. I did that, and now it's divided in half. So I'm gonna start with one mobile home. If all goes well, I'll get another one. Hopefully it's within the 10-year, I don't have to go through a variance. But the mobile home that we have now with the property, it is over 10 years, it's in 1997. But it's in good condition.
I can tell you, it's in good condition. I mean, I can say I have a problem because, when she brings it in, you're still gonna have to have an inspector to go and inspect it, the wiring and everything, and the pictures look great, it's your
How many
council.
mobile homes do you plan on putting on the
Taxes,
Well,
taxes first.
I can only put one on.
And Mayor, Bobby, in reference to that, is it within compliance? Were they able to put 2 mobile homes on those lots?
Oh, she'll meet the setback.
It'll meet the setback and
There's
everything?
plenty of land.
Gotcha.
The only problem is the year model.
Yeah.
The only problem.
Well, as long as you comply with everything else, I'm good with it.
Well, the year model and of course, we usually go
inspection.
if it's gonna be your home, it's gonna be a rental property. That's a major deciding factor right there. But that's up to y'all.
Council, it's up to you, but.
If, Mayor,
Yes.
Ms. Poplar, if future reference, if we can maybe get an inspection where one of our staff can come and give us testimony as to what he actually saw. Because pictures are always great and we appreciate them,
Right.
but it doesn't always tell the full story. So it would just be more, I guess, I'd feel more comfortable if we had one of our city staff to be able to actually go and look at the property itself and make sure that one side of the house is real beautiful and the other side is burned up or something, you know. So, and I know you would do that to us, I know that.
Yeah, I know her. She's real.
Yeah, yeah, and so we
a
just
good
saying
person.
that for future reference, I mean, if possible, and I guess Ms. Poplar would be the one giving that.
Council, you still have that option in this motion. You can always choose to bring this item back to wait for an inspection from, if you authorize him to go out to, is it Pleasanton, you said? Pleasanton city limits to do that inspection. So you still have that option. We would just put it back on the agenda for.
Mr. Trina, would that affect your timeline in any way? We're talking to, a month.
That's what y'all choose, that's fine with me.
But if we can get somebody sent out there, we can put it back on the agenda in February, which I don't think, yeah, you won't have to come back, right? Will she have to come back?
No,
No,
we
it's
can
a
place the items back on the agenda and we can
We
have,
just need a report from the electrician, I guess, and that's it.
No, well, no, Mayor, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be an electrician report, it would just be one of our staff.
Or, this-
Yeah,
yeah,
Bobby would be
well,
able to go and
for
just
the
take a visual.
permits, to go inspect it, that's what we need.
And so you guys get together and at whatever time's convenient for you, for him to do a walkthrough. And then that way he can give us a report on his observations and his beliefs, because we're gonna ask him for his recommendation, to be honest with you. And so that weighs a lot on us. If he says he recommends for approval,
Okay.
then it goes a long way, so.
Would it be
And I
too
hate to
much
do
for
this to
you
you, but-
if we wait till February? Next month?
I would like it as soon as possible, so.
Yeah.
We'll get it down there, but it's up to y'all.
It's up to y'all.
If I may, wouldn't it be easier, hang on, wouldn't it be easier to say, to make this motion to approve it only if Bobby approves it when he goes and inspects it over there? That way she doesn't have to come back. Once Bobby gives the okay, she can move it. We're not wasting your time.
if that's what council decides to
Yeah.
vote on, that's certainly a
When can you
permissible
bring it in? I
motion.
mean, Bobby, we can give you the okay to go. You can go this week, right?
Sure, I could take some time.
We'll find time for you. We'll send you out there.
Eight
We can
o'clock
find time.
tomorrow, okay with you?
You can arrange
can
something
be
with
there.
her and you can go out there.
I'll go tomorrow.
If-
Yeah, y'all can work the details.
Friday,
Mayor, I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay, Mr. Dominguez, yes?
Okay, I make a motion that we go ahead and approve this variance, under the condition that we have city staff go and inspect the mobile home. And if there's any concern, serious concerns that he may have, he can bring back to us and we can discuss it further. It is contingent on his approval though, you understand that? So if he comes and tells Ms. Poppins, hey, I see some problems, we're gonna notify you that we're gonna need to put a hold on it till next month, and then you can come back before the council and have a discussion on it. So that's my motion that we approve under that, on those terms.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and I have a second from Mr. Fernandez. Okay, Mr. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez, Councilman, Councilman Flores,
Yes.
Councilman Fernandez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bautista.
Yes.
All eyes on you,
Motion
Bobby.
passed.
Cause I'm going on a field trip.
You got it.
You'll be going on just a little trip.
Tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item F, discuss on possible action on presentation from Pastor Dave Collette on development proposal location at 431 Avenue F, Poteet, Texas.
Well, good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I'm really glad to bring you some good news and an update. For over 10 years, Poteet First United Methodist Church has partnered with the Wesley Nurse Program of Methodist Healthcare Ministries to promote health equity and impact health outcomes for the residents of Poteet and the surrounding areas. Many of you know Wendy Hilburn, RN, who is our Wesley nurse, who works out of the church to provide free services such as a diaper bank for families with infants, nutrition and diabetes, education, blood pressure checks, and referrals for individuals with specific physical or mental health concerns. Wesley nurses are a complement to local healthcare providers, offering education and outreach which may alleviate the need for more serious medical interventions later. Together with officials of Methodist Healthcare Ministries, we at the church have identified an exciting opportunity to expand our current health and wellness services utilizing the 5,000 square foot unoccupied building on our church property. I think you have that in the packet before you. The goal is to strengthen the Poteet community, find solutions to healthcare inequity, and improve the health and well-being of the citizens of Poteet. Our desire is to become a community hub for health promotion, education, and wellness solutions that offer Poteet families resources to grow and to prosper. Our long-range plans include even greater potential expansion into property near our church campus. We're looking and talking with the folks who own the Bodega property right across the street from us, where we could offer an efficient food bank distribution and provide expanded parking for our program participants. As we plan our programming, it is essential to determine specific services, classes, and other offerings that will best provide Poteet families with the opportunities to maintain and manage physical, mental, spiritual, and economic health. To that end, we have developed the survey that you have in your packet. One side is English, one side is Spanish, to include that survey in an upcoming we request the council to approve putting that survey in an upcoming or next available city utilities bill. For our part, we agree to share the information we have from the more than 120 responses we have collected to date, and to merge those along with the responses you get back through the utility billing efforts. The information we gain will not only help guide our expansion, but it will also provide you and city government a greater understanding of the health and wellness concerns of our community. I appreciate your time, and I'm delighted to answer any questions you may have.
Do you have a digital form that people can fill out? Like, say we do send it out through the mail, we can scan like a QR code.
I
and
would
take it
be
to a form?
more than happy for you to do that. We do not have a digital one on our side yet.
I can make one for you.
If you make it, let's use it. That'll make it a lot easier, you're right, for people to respond.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I noticed you do have information here of a name and a phone number. A name and a phone number at the bottom of the survey. Is that?
That's on our survey. If you send out the survey, it may be more appropriate for you to put the city information there.
So the person filling out the survey is not the one that fills out this name and phone number?
I'm sorry, yes, where it says name and phone number.
Yes, sir.
That would be the respondent
Correct.
to do.
This would be our count. So if we send this out and they send it back, wouldn't that be public information?
It does become public information as if it's going out on our water bills, and if we're receiving the data, then it does become a public document.
So I don't know if you were aware of that. But
I was not.
Yeah, so it becomes public information. So this survey could be researched and people's names and phone numbers would be.
Would it be appropriate then not to include that on the survey?
It depends on what you're trying to, what the goal is. Is the goal is to
Information only.
well, to find out the people who are living in our city, on the county. If that's the case, then maybe you should ask that question. Are you a city resident? Are you a county resident? If that's the information you're trying to gather for your survey.
I would be happy to ask Nick if he does this, to make it, where do you reside in or around Poteet?
Correct, because that would serve your purpose to
Sure.
find out, are we local, are we expanding
Right,
outward?
so that would give you the information to know
Correct.
who's responding.
Without exposing phone numbers and addresses.
Right, thank you for that.
So-
Yeah, I'm very happy to do that.
Thank you for catching that, Mr. Dominguez.
We can always include a notice in the survey as well, informing whoever's going to fill it out that if they respond to it, it would, become public information.
Sure, and I think we need to be informative about that, because again, people may think that they're responding
Yeah.
anonymously, and
Transparent.
then they will get upset whenever their information is.
Be transparent. Yeah.
Right. So that would be my only concern, was that information right there.
And they can just make the form anonymous, and if they really want to reach out to you for these for whatever, they can just reach out to you directly.
Like I say, the information itself is what we need, not so much a name or a phone number. That was on the ones that we circulated within the church, and then also with members of the Ministerial Alliance. So
That would be my recommendation, is to delete that or to modify it, depending on what information you're looking for. We need to protect the respondents.
I will accept anything that you feel will make this work.
I'm good with it. Anyone else have questions? Anyone wants?
Yes, sir. Read the motion if anybody wants to make that.
Does anyone have questions? Anyone? Everyone's good?
So this is for the survey and then also for the development proposal, both in one?
No, I think it's just so we can send out the survey
This is
through
just
the mail.
survey information.
And the survey, my understanding is the survey, is based on what development is going to be able to be brought in, correct?
Right.
And the needs of the citizens, the needs of the people.
Right. That was one of the requirements that Methodist Healthcare Ministries needs from us. They don't want to come in and build top down. They want to hear from the citizens. What would be the most help if we put large numbers of dollars into a center like this?
And I do have a question for staff. How would this be cumbersome for you, or this process wouldn't hinder your ability to do? Okay. Well, then I'm ready to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we accept with the modifications that we spoke about.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
and Jeremy he's not feeling good yet. Mayor Pro Tem Batista.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It passed. Henry, next second. Item G, discussion possible action on amending ordinance number 02022021-1, towing ordinance to change fees for towing services. Melissa's.
Mayor, Chief is going to present this.
Oh, I didn't even see him up there, okay.
Good evening, council.
Good
It's at that time of year that our tow contracts are up for renewal, and we send out the RFQs and advertise for the one empty position that's there. Nobody else showed interest. We're going to continue with the 2 tow service providers that we have. Both tow service providers have reached out and expressed their concerns over the fees. With the price of fuel and insurances going up, they would like to ask council to approve them raising the fee $50 across the board. So it doesn't go to us, that'd be the fee going to the violator, whoever car was impounded. Right now, the tow service providers charges $100. They want to raise that to $150.
Chief, that's not the only reason we're here. We're also here to discuss the ordinance itself.
Well, it's in the ordinance, the fees are in the ordinance, and so
So there's
that's
a
why
fee
we're
schedule
just,
attached to
the
the
fee
ordinance?
schedule, yes, sir.
How do you feel about that 150 versus 100?
Understanding their point of view, both of them had the same thing. So the example given is that the tow truck driver, he gets paid 30%, he or she gets paid 30% of that tow. So basically, this driver gets woken up 2 in the morning, he comes out to tow a car, goes to our impound yard, he goes home, disrupt his life for $30.
Yeah, okay.
So they're basically, because of course, also, like I said, the cost of diesel has gone up, the cost of their insurance has all gone up. So these rates haven't changed since we established this program, I think 6 years ago. So this is the first time they've ever asked for an increase.
Everything's gone up, even our eggs. Everybody's complaining about on Facebook, eggs are high.
Everything else stays the same, correct?
Everything else is staying the same. It's just their fees, you know, for the impounds are gonna
So
go.
if we approve this and everything, are we gonna have to change the names of the secretary was on there and everything, cause I see the names? I have to top up an amendment? Okay,
So I know it's, 2A for the tow fee, but what was the other one? That was 150.
I'm sorry?
I see the 2A that's gonna go to 150, but where's the other one? That you said it was 150?
No, it's going up $50. Yes, so it's going from 100 to 150.
Additional 50 for the person to be charged.
No, that's it.
so the totals be 150. And it was
Well,
at
that's gonna be
100.
the towing fee, yes, ma'am. On top of the towing fee, the city has a fee, it's the impound fee for the vehicle being in our yard, which I think council has it set at 130. And then after that, it's after the first 24 hours, it's $20 a day.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion
I have a motion, Mr. Councilman
to
Flores.
accept as read.
Accept this. Do I have a second?
And that's with the 150 tow fee, correct?
Yes.
Then yes. I'll second.
I have a second. Councilman Sanchez. Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores?
Yes.
Jeremy's gone. Mayor Pro Tem Batista?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, council.
Item H, discussion possible action on amending the city of Poteet employee handbook and policy section 3.07 holidays to include Juneteenth as a city observing holiday. Melissa.
Mayor and council, Juneteenth has been observed as a federal holiday, and it is only, proper for the city of Poteet to honor that day also. So I request that this, holiday be added to the list of the city holidays, please.
Any questions?
I'll just say more holidays the better. So
It's, I know that I saw it on. Yeah, Fender Fund, so yeah, I saw it somewhere. So, do I have a motion?
I do have a question first, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So, did you check with all the other cities?
Yes.
And does everybody else still observe the same holidays? Okay, so,
Some have more than us. So
no, I'm talking that day specifically,
Yes, they do, yes.
Juneteenth. Okay.
because it is federally
Yeah,
Madam
I think the
President.
federal thing.
the things.
I'll motion to pass it.
I have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Batista,
A second.
second from Mr. Councilman Dominguez. Councilman Sanchez,
yes.
Councilman Dominguez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores,
Yes.
absent Jeremy, and Mayor Pro Tem Batista.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, employees, you get another day off.
Not y'all. Not y'all.
That doesn't, oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, officers. Item I, discussion possible action on amending the city of Poteet. Oh, that's a handbook we read. No, Poteet employee handbook and policy section 3.08 sick leave policy by adding an employee leave pool. Oh, okay, now I know which one that one is. And Melissa.
Basically, we put this on here to check to see if this is something that, we can allow you will allow us to add to the, handbook as an employee leave pool. It's done in many cities, many counties all around. We have, someone who gets very ill within our departments, within our staff, say they get diagnosed with something that's gonna take them out of city hall, out of the field for longer than what their time is, and then you have somebody like Bobby who's got years and years accumulated, he might wanna share some of his time so that one of our fellow teammates can be a little more comfortable being out, knowing that, financially things are okay for him. So we're just, we all have big hearts and we're willing to do things like that if something was to strike one of our team members, so we're just asking if we can add this to the handbook.
I know this was done when we had Miss Matthew.
It
She was
has been in place
administrator.
before.
it had done before, and she, was diagnosed with cancer. So some of the employees gave her some hours because she was gonna be out for a while. So it's been done here before, and I think we just need it to be approved from the council so that we can have the resolution or ordinance on it.
Mayor? if I
Yes,
may.
sir.
Okay, so just for clarity, so I understand the concept of it. Has it been defined as to what qualifies for an extended leave? How the employees will contribute to that? Where there's, so,
Basically, emergency cases, like stuff like we just talked about. Application and approval, an employee may donate sick leave hours to another employee with the city administrator approval. We have reached out to Springbrook, and Springbrook is our software that we use, and there is a portion in there, a place in there that finance can work that into where we'll know who it's coming from, how many hours, who it went to, that kind of thing. And this would only be in a case where, if I had 60 hours and I've completely used all of those up and I'm still gonna be out 2 months, it wouldn't be somebody attacking on time if they've got something left. It'd only be in an emergency, necessary.
so I know that some they contribute to a pool where it goes into a general fund, basically. In this case, what you're saying, it'll be an individual to an individual?
And Springbrook is gonna work that out for us, so it is listed here as a leave pool, so
Right, so that
that's
would be.
the way that it's looking, yes.
And so that being the case, and again, like I say, I personally would like to know a little more definition as to how much can somebody contribute to that? And once it's there, then obviously the employee no longer has use of it. Just little details like that, and then we also have to, take into consideration the exempt status. So exempt status probably won't qualify because they don't bring up sick hours, if I'm not mistaken, correct? So that would have to be defined as well, that exempt employees unfortunately wouldn't be able to participate because they can't contribute, and I say this because I'm on the county side, we have that.
We looked at the
Yeah,
counties,
and
it's-
I don't qualify,
Yeah.
so
The
I'm
county,
exempt.
yeah.
But, and it has, again, there's reasons for that. So that, I would want clarity so that the employees understand, what it is that we're contributing to. And then is there limits? Cause if one person uses up the whole pool, so those are all things that I think we probably needs to be clarified up to. And then unfortunately at that point, as far as we can go with it. Again, only so it won't deplete it on one person, cause one illness alone can be very, so there has to be time limitations, I would assume. So I'm for it, but I just think that we probably need a little more clarity as to how it would work. And
But
a
is
little
it-
more definition as to who qualifies, how they contribute, and is there a time limitation as to after so much time? I'm sorry, at this point.
But is it really a pool, or if you're donating to me, I get those hours because I need them, or y'all actually just putting them in where anybody who needs them, or is it just like
The way we originally
so and so
wanted it
sick,
to be was-
they need hours, can you donate, or do you want to donate?
So
like that?
someone's out and their time's up, body comes up and says, hey, I got 30 hours, I'll give 30 hours, to really make it a little more simple is our actual, but I do see here that it is listed as a leave pool.
Yeah, and then also, so I know there's some people who wouldn't qualify because of their status, but there should be an exemption. I think so too. So if somebody who doesn't qualify, but somebody who has 1,000 hours wants to donate to that person, should have that option too. I don't think just because you don't qualify as an employee that you should just be left out. I mean, that might be their rules on the county side, but
So
we might be.
We don't have to have their rules.
if I can
We
clarify.
can make them different.
The way it works on the county side is that actually, because I'm exempt, I can pretty much take a whole month off and I don't get penalized, because I'm exempt. So it would be exempt officers, I guess, Chief, you're exempt, right?
Are you talking about like salary?
Oh, do y'all? Okay.
Yeah.
Who would that apply to anyways?
Like salary?
I
Or
don't think
who?
every one of us.
Yeah.
So we have no exempt employees?
We'll double check.
Who would the taxes go to? You have to have taxes on that, right?
Well, that would be the person who receives.
Yeah, the person who receives the,
Because those
yeah.
hours would go to that person,
Okay.
and they would pay the taxes on that.
So if we have no exempt employees, then I guess that's a moot point. I was under the assumption we had exempt. So,
I think everybody
if-
accrues.
and then of course, like I said, we have to think about limitations. How far does this go and how much can we help? Cause it's wanting to help, that's what we're trying to do,
Exactly, that's it.
so,
Just a simple, just a simple.
A gesture like, yes, I want to help. Okay.
We hope we never have to do that.
Yeah.
oh, well, it's,
That's,
unfortunately, it's a reality of life.
I know that we've seen it happen in, a couple of other places and basically.
Like, I think too, like, the way you have it listed as emergency case, it has to be approved.
And there's clarification on
Yeah.
how we intended for it to go.
Right, and just, I mean, changing the pool, and then as is per case, every case is gonna be different, so,
I'm good with that, if you wanna remove the word pools and leave the way that the application reads, how it falls into place. So it's like donation to.
yeah, a donation.
Yeah.
Individual to individual, yeah.
What does that mean?
So it is the individual, I'm sorry, I was under the impression
Yeah.
it was.
Well, the agenda says pool, like what Crystal is saying is to remove the pool and make it an individual to individual is what you're requesting, right?
Yeah.
And is that something that you would,
I think that's actually how I believe we did
Yeah, I
it.
think this ended up being cool because we followed another city's wording.
We did.
Yeah, and that's the way they had it worded.
Because we went out to several places, so, our original intent was just, like I said, I wanna donate 40 hours, Carrie wants to, Bobby wants to, that kind of thing.
so it'd be more of a donation bank?
More of a donation, more of us taking care of one another than.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to make a motion, they
And
can
then-
change that wording.
The other thing I would have, like, it says just for, like, you can donate your sick leave, but say that person's not out for a sick reason, they're out for like a family emergency, would that be included in
I
that
think it
as
would
well?
just come to, it would come and it would just be approved as basically, city administrator approval based on what it is,
Okay.
You could take Alfred, for instance, his wife became sick, they left in November, they were gone 3/4 of November, all of December, and then she passed away. So he was definitely someone in need of the help. So, to me, that's an emergency, that's.
And I just know, cause I did the same thing with my mom, when she was sick, I was out for a long time, taking care of her, and then she passed. So it does go by really quick, and I worked there for 10 years, so I had a lot of sick leave, but when she got sick, I used it all, so I know how it goes, so yeah. I'm okay with it.
Okay, you want to
Just-
make a motion, change
Yeah,
the wording?
take out the pool and just, however y'all need to
Word it?
word it to where it could be, yeah.
It would just be to amend to the city of Coty employee handbook policy section 3.08 sick leave policy. And we would just remove by adding an employee leave pool. We would just allow the amendment to go forward and we would tailor the amendment
To the sick leave.
to the volunteer
Okay.
basis.
Okay,
I'm fine with that.
you wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to pass, like, as Isel said.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Bautista made a motion to pass it as I read it. And do I have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
I have second from Councilman Dominguez, Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Flores,
Yes.
and Fernandez says, and Mayor Pro Tem Bautista.
Yes.
Motion passes.
It was me. I know,
Okay.
sorry.
Item J, we have discussion possible action on Park Foundation report. From Dean Sanchez, do we have a report?
Good evening, my name is Paloma, the president of the Park Foundation. As of now, right now,
Okay. Anyway, our first meeting will be next month, and we will be discussing our next, project. For the year 2020 and 2021, there was a loss for us because of COVID, so we weren't able to do nothing those years. For the year of 2022, we did something, but not that much. And plus, we gave the city 5,500. So now we have to start little by little to start saving money for our next project to be able to help. If the city or whoever's planning to have, like we did, like with a playground, we saved $30,000 to help there. So now it's going to take us a little while longer to build up our account again to be able to help. I've heard that, they would like to do a water slide, a water park. And so I don't know how much something like that will cost, but we would be willing to, that's what we're gonna be discussing, to be able to see if we can help in one way, but we have to save. With those 2020, 21 that hurt us a lot, we're not being able to make any. Plus, when we do the Strawberry Festival, and first of all, let me let y'all know that we don't get no donations from nobody. Nobody donates to us at all. So we have to work hard for this money that we make. And we're just trying to get back on our feet, because I know we heard that they think that we get a lot of donations, and we don't. We don't. It's just the volunteers helping us work hard all those days, plus what we give the 20 and 15% off to the association, and what we pay for the groceries that we spend. Also, that's a lot of money that we pay there out to. And so by the time we realize, we just stay with so much, and then that's all we make. And trying to save, it takes time for us to do that. So I don't know what else, but that's about all we have. So I don't know what else.
What's the balance now, right now?
The balance is 7,833. What we made from the 13,000, and we give the park. We give the city the 5,500. We stay with 7,833, and from that's what we use for this coming year, for whatever we need to spend to start working. And then, from there, we save a little bit to whatever we have to give to save. That's all we make. We don't make that much.
In 2021, I know you had a benefit trying to raise money for the benches, and I know, how much funds did you get from that?
We didn't have no funds.
May the 1st, 2021?
No, we did not.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
We didn't have no.
That was the project where we redid the courts.
Yeah.
And we didn't ask for money. We asked if anyone wanted to donate the benches.
And we
and
donated.
We ended up buying it ourselves.
Yeah, but
So we didn't raise money for that.
No.
You were asking for donations. I saw people putting money in there, or checks,
they
whatever.
did
No,
not. No.
they did not. They donated hoops. They donated nets, and but no one donated the benches.
Nobody donated.
You were, if I'm not mistaken, you were at that barbecue place, giving out barbecue place, and you were standing with a bucket, I think you call it, and asking for donations.
Oh, you're talking about the election?
The day of elections, you were asking for
Oh.
donations.
I don't remember. I
And
think we made
nobody donated, not even you. We
Yeah.
asked,
No, I didn't
we
donate, but there was
asked
people
you.
that donated.
So we didn't even get no. Nobody asked for donations. We didn't have no fundraisers.
Yeah, so
But
there's
for
no.
the benches that was paid for.
Yeah, so there's no big donations coming in. There's hardly any little. I don't think there's any
Nothing.
little donations coming in.
Nothing coming in.
Yeah. So what else do you want to know?
And you're supposed to, you're having meetings every month?
Yes, Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
We included in y'all's packet the Parks Foundation Articles of Incorporation, their bylaws, and the 2018 agreement that the city currently has with the Parks Foundation. If you look at the 2018 contract that was executed, the obligations that the reports that they're required to make simply states that the Parks Foundation shall provide the city an annual report regarding park affairs, acquisitions, maintenance, donations, and operations. So if they report they have no donations, or there's nothing much going on with park affairs right now, that's considered, their monthly report or their annual report. This would be considered their annual report since it's January, and, their year starts in January. They're also required to do monthly reports according to the agreement. Park Foundation shall send a member or a representative to attend each regularly scheduled monthly city council meeting to provide the city council with a report on Park Foundation affairs. If you look also in that same agreement, Section 2, where it says means of support, the city may request the Park Foundation to expend funds on park projects. Park Foundation shall provide funds, if available, as long as the expenditure is allowed by law. And their sole purpose for organizing was to, raise funds for city parks. So they're only really allowed to make expenses or expend to raise funds for city parks or to actually donate to park projects. And so that's really what the agreement that the city has with the Parks Foundation. So as long as they're reporting, if they say, we don't receive any donations, that's fine, that's what the report, they're complying with their reporting requirements to the city council. You did request, you are allowed to know how much funds are available for park projects, but it is their discretion to say, you know what, we're gonna need at least 5,000 for our next fundraiser at Burgers, or, so we have this amount available for that. She did mention that you have a balance right now of about 7,000 something.
7,833.
I'm not sure how much they're gonna need to use that for their operational cost to do their next fundraising event, but the city council may put on the agenda, hey, can we request a certain amount from, the City Parks Foundation towards a certain city project? I hope that clarifies. If you have any questions, just let me know.
I'd like to expand on that. The Park Foundation and the city administrators have always had a good relationship.
Yes.
As Pop knows, she's reached out like, hey, we're doing renovations, can you help us? I was like, yeah, just talk to my grandmother, talk to the president, and that was it. They got things done. Past mayorships have felt that they were entitled to what the Park Foundation has raised. And one time we did share with how much we made or how much we have in reserve, and then all of a sudden all the quotes we were getting from the city were that exact amount. Like, well, you can handle that, right? I was like, no, that's not how it works. So regardless of who the mayor is, the Park Foundation always works well with the city. And we'd like to continue doing that without, constant calls like, hey, how much is your bank? How much is your bank? It gets old.
Yeah.
Yeah, just letting everyone understand that.
No, we do understand, but, there's also that you have, citizens that donate to the park, or they go out there and they work, they're out there sweating and they want to know where this is going.
Mayor, I do believe that they did a report to us that they do not accept donations.
We do
that
not.
that
We do not.
the only thing they do is fundraise at the Strawberry Festival for the burgers.
it.
And so if they were to start accepting donations, which I highly encourage that you guys do, just so to get more revenue, to get,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that would mean that you would have a lot more compliance requirements with state law, and that's on your organization to determine. Ultimately, whoever donates, say if I make a donation of $1,000 or $500 or $200, and I say I want this to go to city parks,
Yes.
they are legally obligated to
Right.
only use that for city parks. They can't use that towards operating expenses or anything like that.
Right.
But right now, my understanding is they're not accepting donations, although I highly encourage that you guys
Yes.
start
And
maybe
we don't-
considering
we
that
don't get-
option.
Nobody donates to us, nothing.
And if people make a donation and they feel like their funds are not being used to what they donated for, they have a cause of action
Right.
against the foundation itself. So yes,
and,
sir.
and if I may, we've had people reach out to us for donations with like the hoops and nets. I just direct them to the city. I was like, there's no reason to go through us when it's something that minor. Just go to the city, donate it. At the time, City Administrator Eric Jimenez, and that was it.
Yeah, I remember when Mr. Eric Jimenez, Ms. Vasquez, you had bought some swings and stuff. Did you ever sell those swings? Because you were supposed to put it back, I think.
That was sold back, put back.
Was
So
that
what,
put back?
what does that have to do with,
Because that,
with my
you know,
report? That's happened
Yes, Mayor.
years ago.
If
You're
I may,
off the, what I'm supposed to give. You're just here to embarrass me in
No, I'm
front
not
of
here to embarrass you.
everybody.
let's
Stay
let
on-
that kind of discussion.
I think the issue is, okay, so what you're trying to come across is they're a nonprofit. They have to answer to the state. They don't answer to us.
Right.
So if they're doing something wrong or you think they're doing something wrong, we're not the ones to come to. It's the
Right.
state.
Okay.
Because they're not under the city. So if they're doing something wrong, then it's the state that comes in and looks at them, not us. So
Okay,
But
thank
you guys do have
yes,
a
but we do
current
have
contract.
the small contract that tells us what the little bit they have to tell us of their organization. We don't have the
Because
full.
I came here to give a report.
Right.
I did not come here for her
trying to talk.
And
I'm not
let's
here
just
to
limit
insult
that
you.
kind
Okay.
of discussion, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time. Is that the conclusion of your report?
I think that's enough.
Thank you, Ms. Vasquez. There's no motion or action to take on that.
I just want to say thank you to the Park Foundation. We have a nice, park that's going on over there. So thank you.
I also like to thank y'all for donating the appliances and stuff like that. That was very, very appreciated. Thank you.
I have item 7, departments report, financial department. Finance department.
Is it still on? Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to give your finance report with Miss Pat today. So revenues are currently at the 30% of the total budgeted amount. Sales tax is up again for another month. We've got more sales tax than what we actually budgeted, so that's good. As of now, we've collected 34% of our budgeted total for the first month. Our expenditures are at about 23%, which is less than 25% of the year budgeted, so that's also good. Overall, the general fund has showed an unaudited surplus of $165,432. The enterprise fund, which is the utility fund, revenues are in line with the budgeted water and sewer revenues. Overall expenses came in at a 20% of the budgeted amounts, and it shows a surplus at the end of December of $31,788. And that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. Nothing more back. Thank you, ladies. That's item 8B, library.
Good evening, Mayor and staff. Do y'all have any questions for me after you read my report? Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Municipal court. No, I don't think she's here. She might have left.
We had court today, so Andrea had a real long day, so she got out of here. But you have this in your packet. Her monthly report for December 22. There were new cases filed were 42. Court had been canceled in December, so there was no court in December. Judge De La Fuente had 5 magistrates. Total money collected was $2,481. $1,050 was kept by the city, $875.85 was remitted to the state, and $84.30 went to the collection agency. So that's
Thank
the
you.
report for that.
Is that for November and December, or is that just
December.
December?
Yes. Yes.
And, Judge Bill Thomas has come back.
Yeah. And Mr. Gomez is back. He's doing
back.
well. He ran court today, so we are very honored to have him set back up there on that podium. So, thank you.
Thank you, police department.
Good evening, council. With the judge being back, I do plan on moving forward with some code enforcement projects I've been working on. I have some houses that are on the block to be considered to be demolished. They said we just haven't been able to move forward without a judge. So now that he's here, we can get some hearing dates and we'll be sending those out soon. So you'll be seeing some more cleanup projects going on. For November, we had, excuse me, I'm sorry, 9 new cases, 148 calls for service, 9 arrests, and 4 calls for shots fired. The officers did 45 traffic stops, and you see I did a racial profiling report there, just the first page of it, so you can see the gender and the type of people that we've stopped. I'm sorry, did I do that one wrong? I did, I got that one backwards. Oh, let me fix that. So the November was the 45 traffic stops, and we had 7 new case numbers, 135 calls for service, 9 arrests, no shots fired calls. As Ms. Papa mentioned, we did hire some full-time police officers, so we're fully staffed now. With that fully staffed, I've made some scheduling adjustments to get more boots on the ground during peak hours. So that we have our regular daytime, nighttime shift, we have a swing shift, and then we have the sergeant working a regular 84-hour schedule like the rest of the guys, and he's working offset to the corporal so he can get to work with both sides of the shift. And so he's working midday to overnight. And then the lieutenant and myself have augmented our hours, so we're coming out earlier and later. And so that we can, when we're not in the office, any minute we can get away from the office, we're going to be on the street more often as well.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
E, Public Works.
Good evening,
Good
Mayor and
evening.
Council. Any questions on mine? I mean, everything's running normal. We've had a couple of main breaks, Avenue J and 4th, 2-inch, 3-inch on Horton by the softball field, which we're probably gonna kill that line. Hopefully when the weather gets a little bit warmer. We had a 6-inch main break on Avenue K and 9th, 1-inch service line at Zuniga Lane that we needed, that we found. We didn't know it was leaking for a while, so we fixed that. For the month of November and December, we didn't have any water disconnects, any services disconnected. I don't know what happened on
Well,
that.
thank you. When we got the generators, we didn't have during the cold front, so thank you.
Backups,
ran
we had
smooth.
one on School Drive, Betty Louise, Avenue E and 8th, K and 7th, and of course, those speed bumps that everybody was talking about. It finally settled down, so,
Yeah, woke me the hell up one morning.
but it was
Thank
pretty
you, Mr.
quiet.
Botel.
Thank you, Bobby.
Will we be looking at Mr. Amanda's?
Yeah, I was gonna tell him that.
I will speak to Miss Popham about that, and it's not a city issue.
Okay.
But we've catered to him as much as, every time he calls.
Yes, I know.
I do have a question about the speed bumps, since everybody's talking about it. So those are, who put them up? Was it
We
city
did,
staff?
Public Works.
And
yes,
did y'all do by the dimensions that y'all used? Are those standard dimensions, or how did y'all do that?
Those are standard, road dimensions, text dot,
So they
24
are
by,
to highway department standards? or-
text dot, yes, sir.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so anybody.
The
can
only,
place
the
it?
only difference is they're not, I guess portable, where you can remove them. These are permanent,
these are
they're gonna
permanent.
be there.
Yeah, because the complaint I've heard is that they're too high.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that
No,
we tell our
they're too
citizens that they
standard.
are
They're
to
too high.
standards.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But, Mr. Dominguez, when I did hear about that, I actually talked to the chief about it. No, Bobby was, I think, the chief, and I was told that somewhere else in the county, they put some, they're higher than the ones we have, right? If I'm not mistaken. So these are standards. Yes, that's what he told me.
And we did put signs up almost a month prior to installing those speed bumps, and people ignored them.
The one everybody's got me.
It still has the barrels there.
And then after that, we started putting the barrels, and people would move them out of the way.
I think they need to stay there because when I'm coming after dropping off my daughter, people just go around it to the neighbors, the people's property.
Told you, that's the complaint I got.
Yeah, they go around.
I,
So I'm
that's, remember the complaint? We
Oh,
need to
yeah.
look into
the
that.
vendor being there is good because then they can't go into that person's property.
I did get a,
I've been doing extra patrol there. Yeah, you have to slow down.
yes.
I mean, like,
They're-
a truck like me, I still need it, but in my husband's car, I'm like, if you
Oh,
don't stop, you're gonna scrape the bottom of your car. So,
Yeah.
and that's what's meant to be
They're
there.
doing their job.
But we just gotta make sure they don't go to the citizens' property, cause I did get a phone call on that one,
They're the ones that requested them.
so. Oh, they were happy with them, they just said the issues that,
But I think the calls have gotten, fewer and
And yeah, and
major
the
surprise.
stripe helped, cause I didn't see it.
Right.
I didn't see the sign, I've lived here 30, 40 years, and even the speed limit still give me sometimes in certain spots, it used to be 70, now it's 60, so I don't pay attention to those signs, because I'm like, oh, it's just a speed limit sign or whatever, so I'm just passing, and then it's all, never mind.
Wake up.
Yeah. But the stripes help now.
They
'cause I
do.
can actually see it.
thank you, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Determine where they go. How was that determined?
Well, on Rutledge, we did them just inside city limits. Enough for the traffic, when they're getting speed, to slow down. And it's just, wherever we decide and we think the problem's at.
So it's not citizens' request.
Some of them, they were citizens
The
requests.
one on Avenue E was,
Yes.
well, they both were citizens requests. But, it's, you know, we kind of monitored it a little bit and then did a little survey and say, okay, from here, they're picking up speed, let's slow them down a little bit. And that's how we did it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bonteo.
Thank you.
Volunteer Fire Department, Doug Curtis.
Council, citizens. Well, we closed out the year, last year, 505 calls for the year. Something like that. This right here, this report's from December the 1st of last year to this day. We had 60 calls, 13 fire calls, 12 accidents, 12 unauthorized burns, and to clear the unauthorized is they didn't call it in report, hey, I'm burning today, so that's what that is. 6 cancels and medical call 5, 3 alarms, public service, just helping other agency with an issue they have, smoking investigation, couple hazmat calls, one other and utility problem and a control burn. We had 1 building fire, fire other than the structure in the building, and then 3 mobile home fires. Mobile property vehicle fires, we had 1, grass fires, we had 6, outside rubbish fires like trash, we had 1, medical assist the EMS crews 5 times. Motor vehicle accidents with injuries, 4 of those, and we have motor vehicle accidents with no injuries, we have 8 of those. 1 hazardous condition, 1 gas leak, and a wire and electrical problem, wire on the ground. Public service assistance, like assisting other agencies, maybe like our PD and stuff like that. Unauthorized burn 12, dispatched and canceled en route 4 times, dispatched and canceled prior to checking in, and 1 unauthorized burning, smoke scare, odor, 2 of those, and false alarms 1. Alarm system sounded due to malfunction twice, and special type incident 1. Total of 60 from December till now. And this year we have 18 on the books. So we need rain bad.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Curtis. Nobody has any
Thanks,
questions for
Curtis.
him?
Sorry?
No, if anyone has any questions for Curtis? Okay. Item 8. Council comments, no action to be taken. 8, Councilmember Nick Sanchez.
No, just thank y'all for coming. Hope we have a good year. One New Year's resolution I'd like for everyone to partake in is if you hear something or you have an issue with someone, reach out to them first before you make assumptions. I know some people in this audience I've helped that would never came to me. But once you... Hello? Is that
my phone?
Did he lose his phone? I'm just saying we can grow so much if we just talk to each other, hear both sides of the story before, we make assumptions and then everyone's like, what are you talking about? That's not what happened. So that's just my New Year's resolution. Let's all have a good year. And yeah, thanks for coming.
Councilman Dominguez.
Yes, ma'am. Again, I want to thank the citizens that are watching and citizens that are here. And I'm also very grateful for the momentum that we've got going. I'm thankful for the team that we have. And I look forward to a very good year. And I think we're going to go further next year. Ms. Popham gave us a good report about all the accomplishments we've done in 2023 that we're going to be very proud of and very, very happy that here in Poteet we're moving forward and upwards. So I want to thank everybody, and that's it.
Councilman Flores.
I'm kind of glad we recognized Juneteenth and yesterday being MLK Day, Martin Luther King. He said, I have a dream. And unfortunately that there's still discrimination out there and some states worse than others. I've been to some that it's just been terrible. But discrimination is still out there. I'm glad that our little city has not seen much of that, and hopefully we don't. I really dislike discrimination. A couple weeks ago, and the next comment I'm going to make is not from council. This is just Rick's perspective. A few weeks ago, I love football. I love watching football. It doesn't matter what, I love football. A few weeks ago, I watched a football game where an individual went down on the football field and went into cardio arrest, and he was down and out. Very, very scary thing. But you saw all these millionaires come together on that football field and take a knee and pray. I believe, again, this is Rick. I believe that we need more prayer and welcome God into your heart. But that's just me again. And God bless everybody. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Bautista?
Yes, thank y'all for coming out and for everybody continue to be a community, because that's what you have shown in the past several months. We have come together and we continue to come together, and you can see how as a community we can do great things. And I'd like to thank those that have volunteered, our first responders, because without Miss Popham, Candace, all these people that do the volunteer work or the after hours work or the stuff we don't see in front of us every day, without y'all it wouldn't be possible. So I'd just like to thank y'all. And then also we have our South Texas Rebels 15U cheer competition and 5U, the 5-year-old competition girls. They both took first place at San Antonio, and now we're traveling to Vegas tomorrow for competition over there. So good luck to them.
Did I win?
Huh? No.
Oh.
So good luck and safe travels to all them and everyone here.
So you're going with, okay, I don't know. Okay, Mayor, I want to thank everybody. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody Happy New Year's. Everyone, I didn't get your text or whatever. And I do thank everybody for coming. And like I said, thank you, Mr. Andy Jocelyn there for giving us his wife, Melissa, for everything they've done for us. I mean, there's so many things that, like I said, I inherited a big mess. I'm not going to lie here, but I thank Miss Melissa. We're catching up to everything that was from 2019 that was left behind. And we're fixing everything. We're moving forward. Thank, Bobby, who's been patient with us too. He's still stuck around. I know he could leave if he wanted to, but he's not leaving nowhere as of right now that I know of. So, but I thank also Abby for coming back, joining our team and helping Miss Poppin. People don't realize Abby's got her hands filled, but she doesn't stop. And I want to thank you, Abigail. So I want everybody to have a good week, good, year. And God bless everyone. Thank you for coming.
And prayers for our
prayers
city.
for the team.
No, but Carrie, Miss
Oh
Carrie.
yes, Miss Carrie. Yes, she's out sick. Everyone.
Fast recovery for her.
Yes, prayers. We all need prayers for Miss Carrie McConnell. So I need somebody to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion for 8:24 from Mr. Sanchez, and I have from Ms. Bautista. Okay, Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilman Dominguez? Yes, ma'am. Councilman Flores?
Yes.
Jeremy's gone, and Mayor
Yes.
Pro Tem Batista? Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Drive safe. Do we take Jeremy's package or what? Me lo llevo because you're going out of town, right? You want me to take it because you're going out of town?